Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of What the Dementia by Bambu Care. I'm your host, Brianna Wilson. I'm a certified dementia practitioner and the founder of Bambu Care. So today we are going to be talking about a frustrating phenomenon that you may have experienced with your partner, but that you may not know the term for, and that is showtiming. But before we get into today's topic, we do have some quick housekeeping. So if you didn't already know, Bambu Care has a free support community that is open to dementia care partners all around the world. So no matter where you may be located, you are all welcome. The Bambu Care Champions community is a safe space to connect with other care partners, to vent, share your journey, and ask your questions, as I am also active in the community as well. So if you're interested in joining us, definitely check out the podcast notes or visit letsbamboo.com/champions. The next thing, which is super exciting, is that we are now opening up the waitlist to our With Intent Masterclass, which is a comprehensive course that goes along with our dementia care book, With Intent, a practical guide to navigating behaviors along the dementia care journey. And early bird pricing will be opening soon. And so if you don't want to miss out, be sure to sign up for the waitlist, okay? Now, it is a self-paced 9-module course, but the cool thing is that the first cohort to sign up for the masterclass will get to go through the entire course with me through weekly live Q&A sessions that go with each module. So that's just an added bonus, okay? Also, with the masterclass, you will get exclusive access to the ebook version of With Intent. So if you haven't already purchased With Intent, no worries, because you will have access to the ebook version and have everything you need to successfully work through the course, okay? And then there's also bonus lessons and content that wasn't included in the book. So even if you already have the book, I highly encourage you to go through this course because it is so comprehensive. It will help guide you through the book and really highlight the most pertinent information to really impact your journey, okay? So we do cover a lot of content in the masterclass, but it is very digestible and it's presented in a very friendly, easy to understand way. And it's great for all dementia care partners, whether your partner was newly diagnosed and you're just beginning this journey, or if you've been a dementia care partner for a long time now, or even if you are a professional care partner, okay? And the best part is that you will have lifetime access to all of the content. So if I decide to update the content, you will have access to that. And if it stays the same, well, then you still have access to it so that you can reference back to it. And you'll also have the lifetime access to the ebook version of the book as well. So that's pretty awesome. So if you want to gain a better understanding of dementia, if you want to understand how to navigate your partner's behaviors, if you want to learn how to make your care journey easier, I definitely recommend that you sign up for the waitlist and take advantage of this amazing course that's been put together for you all, okay? So all the information that you need to sign up for the waitlist will be in the podcast notes, okay? So definitely check that out, and you can also go to our website and it will be in the banner for a bit, okay? Now on to the topic that you came here for, right? Showtiming. So as I mentioned before, showtiming is something that you may have experienced with your partner, but may have not known that there's actually a word for it. So let me paint the scenario. So you know your partner pretty well. After all, you've witnessed their strengths and abilities, you've witnessed their weaknesses and struggles, you've dealt with their good or normal behaviors as well as their challenging behaviors. You know your partner's changing and that something is wrong or at least a bit off, or maybe you even notice that their dementia is progressing and things are becoming more difficult for them. So you decide to point this out and share it with your siblings and even the doctor. And they hear you, but they don't hear you, if you know what I mean. And so you think to yourself, If only they could see what I see, if only they could witness and experience it for themselves, then they would understand what I'm talking about. So your siblings finally come to visit your partner, or your partner finally has their doctor's visit, and you are so ready because they will finally see what you've been talking about. But then what happens? Lo and behold, your partner is talkative and able to hold a conversation. They're pretty much behaving normally, and they're answering questions with flying colors. What in the world, right? Have they been pulling your leg this whole time? Well, actually, no, not at all. This is what we call show timing, and it can be very frustrating as a care partner because people may think that you're lying or over exaggerating and being dramatic when it comes to your partner. People may even blame your partner's behavior on you and make you doubt yourself as a care partner. But no, it's not necessarily you. It's a real thing that happens. I think of it similar to when something is acting up, but when you go to show someone, it's working fine and you can't replicate what was going wrong. Or, as a more specific example, when your car is acting up, but once you get it to the dealership or to the mechanic, the car is no longer giving you a problem. It's like, now I know I'm not just making this stuff up. Why isn't it happening anymore? Literally, right before I came, it was acting up. And now it's working perfectly fine? What the heck, right? So why does this happen? So show timing is particularly common in the early to early mid stages of dementia, or stage 4 and stage 5 using the 7-stage model. So during this time, a person living with dementia is able to pretty much keep it together for short periods of time when the moment calls for it. Now, sometimes this can happen at a very conscious level, as it's not every day that we just want to put the most vulnerable parts of ourselves on display. But I also think that there is a subconscious habitual component to it. Even without dementia in the picture, we as humans will naturally try our best to put our best foot forward when interacting with others, especially in social situations that are demanding or high pressure. But then we will break down and essentially fall apart with the people that we feel most comfortable around, the people that we don't mind being vulnerable with, right? And this is a pretty normal thing that happens with the everyday person, okay? And so for this reason, if I'm being honest, I am not the biggest fan of the word show timing, and I really don't like that you mainly only hear the term when referring to a person living with dementia. I think that we all have engaged in show timing at some point in our lives. I mean, can you think of a time when you were really nervous and inside you were just completely losing it, but then once it was showtime, you were able to pull it together and act cool, calm, and collected? I know I can personally think of several occasions, okay? What about a time when you were feeling sad and down? Maybe you even just finished crying, but when in the presence of your colleague or a friend or family member, you were able to pull out a fake but convincing smile and say that you're doing great when they asked how you were doing. Now, are we always able to keep it together? No. And neither are people living with dementia. And so with show timing, what we see is that it usually only lasts for a short period of time because it's actually very exhausting for a person to maintain. So one of the issues that we sometimes see with show timing is that there's essentially this crash. So afterwards, you may see increased fatigue and sleepiness, and or an exacerbation in your partner's symptoms, which obviously isn't so great for either one of you, right? So with all that being said, what I really want you to know is that although there are naturally manipulative and deceptive people in this world, if your partner doesn't have a history of being that way, it is unlikely that your partner is manipulating you or exaggerating their symptoms to just give you a hard time, okay? The difference that you are seeing when they are around you versus other people is that they are just trying to keep it together in the presence of others, like we all try to do literally every day. But unfortunately, as the dementia progresses, this ability will fade. And though their symptoms may still fluctuate, it does become harder to compensate and cover them up, so to speak, okay? So, what is the best thing that you can do about your partner showtiming? Well, in my opinion, the best thing to do is to create a simple behavior journal or log. You want to keep an objective account of what's going on, okay? So the information that you want to make sure to include is the date and the time. You want to briefly describe the behavior and why it concerns you. And then you want to mention, is this the first time it's happened or is it recurring? And if it's recurring, is it stable or worsening? And then if it's relevant, how long did the behavior last, okay? Now, if you plan on sharing this, which is usually going to be the case if you're taking this extra measure, right? Then I would try to keep it as concise and to the point as possible. You want it to be quick and easy to digest so that the necessary people actually read it, okay? Also, before you go to like the doctor's office, I would make a copy of it because you want to keep one for your own record, right? And then highlight your most pressing concerns. And then when you check in with or for your partner, then you can discreetly hand it over to the medical assistant or whoever the front desk person is and ask for it to be given to the doctor or the doctor's nurse. Some clinics are also okay with you emailing them about your concerns, so definitely be sure to ask. Now, because of HIPAA laws, depending on how you and your partner have everything set up, and if there's been some form of consent or authorization given, the nurse or doctor may not be able to share specific information with you. But there's nothing keeping them from gathering more details about their patient. HIPAA in no way prevents a doctor from listening to your concerns. However, unfortunately, they are not required to listen to you. So that's the catch, okay? But a good thing is that if they do listen to you, they are not required to share the information that you shared with them with the patient. But just make sure that you mention that you would like to keep it confidential, okay? Or they may unintentionally throw you under the bus, so to speak, okay? So hopefully you found this podcast episode helpful and informative. Don't forget to join us in the Bambu Care Champion community at letsbamboo.com/champions and sign up for our With Intent Masterclass waitlist so you don't miss our early bird special. And again, you can find that in the podcast notes or on our website in the banner, at least for right now, okay? If anyone has any questions, comments, or future podcast requests, you can send us an email at podcast@whatthedementia.com. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of What the Dementia by Bambu Care. We look forward to catching you on the next episode. Take care, and until next time, stay strong, care on, and remember, you are not alone. Bambu Care is always here.